It's the story of a man who battles back from complete despair. The opening scene is a prologue in which he's playing the role of Desdemona in the theater of the Restoration. This is historically true. They would interrupt the final scene of Othello after Desdemona's death, and they would start cheering for Keniston. He was the most famous portrayer of women roles. High society in England very much adored these stars. The edict came down from Charles II in 1661, banning any further men playing she-roles, as the king referred to them, which of course ended his career. And so it meant a radical upheaval in his life. It had the very basic ingredient of all good operas, and that was all about crisis. The acting of the period, the women's acting, little boys learned at a very early age, usually taken from the streets and then trained. I looked at a book that had an entire page of hand gestures. It's almost like kabuki. There are simply 5 gestures for one emotion. Keniston considers what he does great art. To give it up and abandon that very highly stylized acting form was asking a great deal of him. He has a very highly emotional monologue in which he's revealing his life's journey to this point, to the king. He says, it's not only me, it's all others like me who do women's roles. Charles II says to him, this is not important. And he says, it is to me, desperately. I use Verdi's wonderful expression of latinta, the color of the scene. As soon as I know the color of the scene, then the tempo was suggested, 16th notes, or is it a quarter note scene, you know. That usually gets you out of the bog. The thing that I have to guard against is just your own self-doubt about what you've done. One section, that was a very crucial section dramatically, and I just decided away from the keyboard that I had not done very well by that scene. And so I just left it. And I went back to it the next day, and it was exactly what I wanted. It was a very different period that I had ever dealt with. There's nothing about Americana in it. Restoration England, a very notably bawdy period. There are 2 so-called sex scenes. So that's certainly new territory for me. I hope it will pass the censors.